sleepy boy. I didn't even realize I was live. Although it was just a black screen, so I guess it doesn't matter. Huh. Alright. I'm gonna turn off the alarm because I have an alarm that goes off automatically when I'm supposed to start streaming. But I don't need it because I started before. Let's turn the light up, make me nice and bright. And I have you can see I have the little chandelier on. It's so nice and bright. But I do like the cozy dark background vibe for my ASMR. I want to experiment with some new. I want to experiment with something new. Everb. Wait, what is that? Everb. Oh, this seems interesting. Hello, Silo. Welcome in. How is you today? That's an interesting thing. Let's try some other effects. not sure what that means. Let's try some different EQs. Oops. It's picking up the sound of my thumbs very clearly. And I wanted to pick up the tones more clearly, but I don't know how to do that. That sounds kind of interesting. What does my voice sound like though when I have this on? I wonder. Let's listen. I'm in a deep, deep cave. Music here. a real dream. persistent in the air, like dreams and music. Let's rename this group. How do I rename the group? Name. Double reverb. Let's go back to normal. Let's see, does that sound all normal? Yes. The world sometimes is so gooey. Life is so weird. And life can be whatever we want it to be. Unless you want to control the outside. In which case you can't make it whatever you want it to be. I don't know what I'm saying. But life is always happening. No matter what happens, things happen. Things happen and things are. And we are. And we could always be more. And we could always be less. We can just choose a direction whether to be more or less. Whatever direction we choose, there's no right answers. But we can always choose to be more or choose to be less. Which is the right decision for you? Well, there is no right decision, there's just a decision that has to be made. And when stuff happens, they just happen. I guess that's kind of what's fun about the world. I want to strive to both be less, but there's some things that I want more to be more of. I want to gain more knowledge, more abilities. but I want to gain them so I can exist and be less. Because being less is kind of nice and chill. Simplicity is comfort for the mind. And I like being comfortable. Probably more than anything else. I've been going in the complete wrong direction for most of my life. Trying so hard to try. But it's a lot easier when you try less. You kind of complete more. I don't know if I want to grow or find my path. But you can't really find the path. You're always on the path. You just are the path. Wherever you go is where you go. If you feel like you're on the right track, that's just because the path you've been carving this whole time has been coming clearer. Everything's clearer once you go further, if you're on the right path. The path you always were on. You've always been going there. Now we all know what's at the end of the path. So it's certainly the journey that is what matters. We have a few little pit stops that we want to get to on our journey. Maybe we get lost and take a detour. But the thing is, that doesn't mean we're on the wrong path. It just means the path looks different. It is longer, or it goes further. But it doesn't matter where we go, Because as long as we go, we end up somewhere. That will kind of help us. I think that kind of view can help you be less stressed about where you're going. It is hard to go places and act a certain way that you want to act, because you worry about how you will be seen, what kind of person you will be. And to some extent, maybe that is good. Can maybe help us see things from other people's perspective, what we look like to them. But we are always who we are. And if you really want to be a good person, just focus on not being that person, not like looking like being that person. Because looking like being that person and being that person are two completely different things. And I want to be a good person rather than having people think I'm a good person. Now it can be good to, be seen as a good person for others to trust you, and it can be useful to get where you want to be. But that should be a separate idea than being a good person. The idea of looking like a good person is more about getting somewhere, getting to where you want, a specific place, rather than being a specific person. And getting to a specific place, you can always find a new place to go. In fact, you will probably not know where you're going at the beginning of your life. I mean, obviously not. When you're born, you're just a baby. You're not going anywhere. People are taking you places. But that's the start of your journey. You're being taken to places. And that's who you are. You are someone who is somewhere going somewhere else. A journey is always somewhere. A journey always goes forward. A journey is always comfortable. When you don't worry about where you're going. I mean, a baby can have problems, but a baby never worries about where they're going. They just worry about where they are. I guess this is a stay in the moment kind of idea. Where will I go from here? Who will I be today? I just find that sleep is where I want to go. Sleep is where I want to be. Sleep is what I want to see. Another day, another time for me to find another place. I like exploring the idea of where I'm going. I like wondering what places I can go. I like growing every day, a new place that I need to figure out, a new thing that I need to get through. Everything is so different every day, even though it's the same. I do the same thing over and over, especially trying to learn things and be places. I try to do things and I end up not finding I end up finding that even though I go to the same place in my mind, it's always different. It's always a different experience. Like playing the kalimba. It's not the same as playing the kalimba yesterday. Because your mind is anew. Every second, your mind is anew. I mean, the general shape can be pretty similar of the electrical signals going through your brain, but the ideas in your brain, the electrical signals are ever so slightly different from time to time. Everything is ever so slightly different, and it can make it kind of difficult. I find that even if I learn something new, I feel like I've figured something out. I come back to it another time, and my brain is slightly it's not the same. It's not the exact same scenario. So it's hard to figure out how to be well and better, because your brain is always shifting. So even if you figure out how to deal with a certain emotion, next time you feel that certain emotion, you might be better at handling it, but you might also find that you slide back into feeling and struggling like you did the first time. And it can be frustrating or confusing, because what even is happening in your brain, you know? What even are you doing, man? Because you just have to try and slowly learn and slowly understand all the different kind of vibes and scenarios of your brain. And eventually, once you get the hang of finding the way that the mind needs to go this time to figure it out, that is when you can start figuring it out. But because of this always changeability, this constant movement of the brain, this constant uncertainty of the brain, this constant shifting of the atmosphere inside of you, even if you figure something out, like how to deal with a certain emotion or thing, the constant shifting means you have to keep maintaining what you've figured out, or you'll lose it again. Because it's not about just knowing a switch, just turning it on. It's about like juggling. And like in juggling, if you throw a ball in the air, you don't throw it the exact precise way, the same every time. There's a little change in every throw. You might be pretty precise, and it's almost perfectly the same, but there is slight variations, at least in some of the throws, and so the brain needs to be able to adjust for every single throw and catch every single ball. And I think it's a good way of looking at the brain and seeing that every time you do something, there's slight differences in the way the brain is interpreting and interacting with the world, that you need to be able to catch that ball even if it's a little bit to the left. You can't do the exact same thing. If you learn a skill, you can't do the exact same thing every time. You have to do it ever so slightly differently and know how to adjust to the moment. And the moment is always changing. So you need to always keep up and make sure you understand how to do the thing. Otherwise your brain will change. No. I don't know if I'm quite making sense, but I'm a sleepy boy. What can I say? I'm but a sleepy boy. What to do? Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Everything is awesome when you live in a dream. What is life? Why am I singing now? I wonder what life could be like in another dream than the one I'm already dreaming. The brain has to interpret the world, and therefore the world is a dream by the time it's got into your conscious. It's the interpretation of your brain waves. It's experiencing life just like a dream. Everything is just like a dream. Life is everything and nothing. when you experience a thing through the eyes, you dream those experiences. You dream that world, because that world is not something you can physically be in, other than, physically being part of it. I think you're physically part of the world, but not physically in the world, if that makes sense. Or experiencing. You're not physically experiencing the world. The world is just dream by the time it gets to your conscience. It's just a dream. And I love dreams. I love dreaming. Being in a dream-like state. It's very cozy to dream sometimes. It can be scary to dream too, but what is and isn't there is all sort of a mystery until it happens. It's all sort of what it is, and what it's not is what it's not, and sometimes it is what it is, and we all can see when we can't see, and everything that happens today will be even more so a dream tomorrow. I wonder what the difference between the dream of today is compared to the dream of tomorrow. Like, if we think back to yesterday, we can experience yesterday in a dreamlike state. Of course, we experience the world in a second-hand manner, but we already did so when we experienced it. Memories are a fascinating thing, because memories make everything feel kind of similar. Like, even if you dream at night, if you go to sleep at night and you dream, then you can remember that dream just as much as you can remember yesterday, the actual experience of yesterday. But which one feels more real? Because they're both memories, and they both just feel like memories. And you know which one is real. There's something about it you can understand. That one is just a dream and the other is real life. But is it just because you've put a little tag, kind of like written down kind of in the memory, that this is real? It's kind of just a fact rather than a feeling. Like, dreams don't quite feel more real than the real world when you think back on them in memories. But I wonder if it has to do with the amount of sensory input you experience. I feel like the more sensations I have in a dream, the more real it feels. But in dreams, you don't need all the sensations to experience it. Like, when you dream a dream and just experience the visuals, you usually don't even think about the smell, the feeling. Sometimes you do dream those things, but in real life you always dream the feeling of touch, the smell in the air, even though you might not necessarily notice it Exactly. Even though it might not exactly be fully encompassing, but I think you just encompass all the feelings into one idea that this is real. When you experience all the little kind of subconscious feelings, like there's some feelings, sensations that we have that we never quite experience, like the pressure of our blood, the blood pressure. We do have senses kind of for knowing our blood pressure, and I think it can affect our emotions and our feel about the world, these hidden sensations. But I don't think we don't like consciously think about them, but I do think they contribute to this feeling of a real that we have when we experience the waking world, whereas the sleeping world, in the dreams, we don't need to experience all those sensations. Although, when we're in a dream, I wonder if we experience some of the sensations unconsciously that exist in the real world. Like how we lie down in a bed and sleep. Those sensations probably don't make it to the dream world, do they? But maybe, who knows? Maybe, who knows? Maybe, who knows? I could be wrong about that. I could be wrong. But in memory we do select what experiences we remember, for sure. Like only the most important sensations are saved in our memory that we can recall. For example, sight is usually the most, I was gonna say sight is the most common thing to remember, but there are people with aphantasia, the people who don't have the ability to visualize things in their mind. And so I think there's a more simplistic experience of the world that we kind of compress into a memory. I think the memory is we can experience what and remember what a chair is without seeing the chair, without feeling the chair, without touching the chair. We can just know. Like how in our dreams, sometimes, I don't know if this happens to you, I think it probably does, but in our dreams, we can know things that aren't really visible. Like we can have a dream and see a chair, and then we can feel that chair is dead or something, that chair is happy, and we have this idea of what happiness is, and we can, in dreams, things can be twisted, and we can attach that to things that necessarily don't show any emotion, but we can attach ideas in a floaty sort of dreamlike way. And when we do this, we get a very interesting perspective on how we experience the world. Because a chair obviously doesn't feel anything, but in a dream it can be so real that a dream, a chair feels something. It has an emotion, or it is some sort of person, or it exists in a certain sort of way, and we have this sub idea about it, a sub sort of quality that is just a floating idea in our mind. And I think when we remember stuff, that is the main thing we remember about things. Like, we can have visual memories, but as I said, aphantasia people, they can communicate ideas and memories pretty much similarly to anyone who doesn't have aphantasia. I think it's because the ideas of the situation are more important than the actual physical or sensory input that we remember. The actual physical sensory input of the thing is secondary important to the kind of sub-ideas, the ideas, the understanding we have of something that is something that isn't tangible. It's just something, a way for us to process the world. It's an understanding of the world. And it's really weird that the understanding of the world doesn't need anything of the world. Nothing in the world that exists needs to be in our mind when we remember things, which really tells you a lot about what our experience of real life is. Real life is not real life. Real life is an imagination, it's a dream of itself that we experience. I mean, we do experience sensory things during existence, but we don't exist of those experiences. I wonder how much, of the moment that is an idea, because I think we do process and turn things into ideas pretty quickly. That's why when you see a face, you can easily recognize it, because it's just an idea. We don't process every single pixel or every single photon of light that comes in our eyes. We process the idea of a face. Like there's layers before it gets to our consciousness. That's why we can't, we're so used to being upright and stuff that we can't quite process upside down faces as fast as right side up faces, because we have these ideas of how things are, and our brains just experience life that way, which is very fascinating. Life is a fascinating experience. Right now, life is a very fascinating experience. I'm like alone in my room, all alone in an empty room, but I'm technically connected to the world in a way through this little camera, which I notice is a little tilted. It's hard to get it right, but right now I don't think there's anyone watching the stream right now. There might be someone watching in the past, but I don't know. So it's a weird existence I'm in where I'm alone. It's like a Schrodinger's existence where I'm alone, but maybe I'm not alone as well. Maybe I'm somewhere with someone else right now. Well, not right now. No one's watching right now. But if someone watches the recording of this, then I will be somewhere and I won't be alone. Or I guess I'll still be alone, but the person watching won't be alone because they have me there. But I don't have whoever's watching here. Just a one-way communication. It's very interesting that technology kind of created a one-way communication. I guess letters were a one-way communication. That's like the earlier technology that you could just send something out and like maybe you get a reply back, but you don't experience the person receiving the information. You just experience the sending of the information. And the sending of the information, is it a lonely experience or is it an experience that is social? Is writing a message a social experience? That's very interesting because in letters you can send the letter and people can receive it days later. That's usually what happens. But with technology, we have changed the letters to be able to be instant. But you still never experience the person receiving the letter. You always just experience receiving a response. And I think that's a very interesting way because a lot of people do feel like they're being social when they're sending text messages. But I don't think as many people would say sending a letter is being social. Or do they? Is sending a letter being social? Because then you can write all sorts of letters and not even send them. And I guess then but then surely it wouldn't be social. Is it the act of sending a letter? What if you write a letter intending to send it to someone? Are you being social then? What if you never send it? Does that remove how social you were? And if you do send it, so if we say that sending is the part that is being social, the act of sending is the part that makes us social. Or is it receiving that makes it social? Like, it's only once you get a response that it's social. So you can send it to someone, you can send millions of letters to millions of people and not be social with any one of them until you get a response. You get a response from one person and then you're social with them. Is that how it works? I guess that would make sense. It's the response that makes it social. But when you're with someone, you can talk to them and they can just listen. And listening in itself is a response. I feel like it's very clear that that's a social situation to me. If you're sitting in a room, even if you're silent, that's pretty social. Maybe not if maybe not if both are silent. Maybe that's not social. But if at least one person is talking, both people are social, I think. But I do think when you're in person, you have an instant, even though they don't quite respond, they are there in the room, and just the expression on their face, if they're listening, as long as they're listening, their expression on the face will tell you something about what you're saying. It's some sort of response. It's very fascinating sort of thing to think about. I like thinking. I feel like this might be the most me I've ever been on stream, but it's also the stream that has the least viewers. And I think that's a very interesting idea. Maybe I'm more me when I'm alone. I guess sometimes I get philosophical when I'm with people, but mostly maybe I do it when I'm alone. I don't know. So I guess whoever watches this, if everyone watches this in hindsight or the VOD, they'll see what I'm like when no one's around. Maybe that will be interesting for them. I've streamed for 1 hour, but it feels like I've streamed for longer. Like yesterday I streamed for 3 hours and it felt like only 1. I should stretch some since it's been 1 hour. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm gonna do a stretchy boy. Be a stretchy boy. Let's do it. Let's do a stretchy. Let's do a stretchy. And see how it goes. Oh. Oh. Stretchy. Oh. Stretchy. Oh. It feels nice being stretchy. Getting those stretchies out. Moving my body. Oh goodness. I wonder how audible my crackling of my body is. I hope not too much, because I mean some people like the bone cracking ASMR, but I'm not a big fan. I think most people don't like it. But I'm sure it won't be too much. My neck is probably the worst. feels nice and stretched. Healthy body. Let's take care of our little bodies. Make them healthy and nice and cozy. Jiggy back and forth. Oh yeah, that's popping me too. And little hips. Get those hip joints. Are they joints? I guess. Oh. Goodness, today my body is very crackly. I wonder if it's because I'm sleepy, so I've just been slouching too much. You know what I want to do? Since I'm not sure anyone is around. Maybe I'll just be silent and meditate for a moment. And if anyone's watching a VOD, they can always skip ahead. Deep breath in and out. 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 You know what, that feels a lot better already. Me just sleepy, even though I slept so much before this. Barely holding it together. My brain too tired to feel, in it. Maybe feeling a little down, just on the inside, but taking a deep breath is nice and relaxing and calm. Removes a bit of the stress that comes from being tired and struggling with everything. So deep breaths are nice. In and out. In and out. In and out. Maybe it's called for some more stretching. More stretching. nice and stretchy. Nice and stretchy. Everything's nice and stretchy. Nice and cozy, nice and stretchy. Nice and cozy, nice and stretchy. Nice and cozy. Nice and relaxing. I like these sort of dulled patting sounds. It's nice when it's binaural though. I wonder if I can do a little binaural thing happening, even though I just have one mic. Well, I can do this, go from one ear to the other, but I have used my mouse to do this. I will be relaxing. Everything will be calm. Everything will be relaxing, relaxing, and sleepy. Relaxing and sleepy. Relaxing. There is a way for me to be binaural without having to manually do it. I will see if I can pan flow. This is it. And let's make here we go. And then is there a way for me to start it? Oh, I can't. I see. That's silly. Oh, interesting. I see. There is no way for me to get this to work with my setup. I need a program that has an inner beat sort of thing. Let's see if I can find a way to fix what I want to fix. sender. I don't know what that is. Let's see. We can change graph. Frequency band splitter. No. There's a media player. That's interesting. What's this? I see. Media player. I wonder how that works. I guess it plays file. I see. Interesting. Sadly, I can't get the thing I want to work. It will not work the way I want it to. Oh well, oh well. Maybe another time. Test. Let's rename this one to test. And go back to the normal thing. There we go. It's been 1 hour. It's been half an hour since I started stretching and stuff. It's weird. The first hour felt like 2 hours. The last 30 minutes felt like 5 minutes. I thought I just stretched. Oh yeah, I meditated as well. Oh, that will do it. Meditation will get you past some time, I suppose. I feel like I really didn't meditate that long though. In and out. And I could use some more. In and out. In and out. Always nice to take nice deep breaths. We love to hear the air entering and leaving our lungs. It's very very calm feeling. Just experiencing life. It's a very calm feeling when you are just experiencing simple sensations. Simple sensations. That's all I can ask for in life. Simple sensations. Simple and calm sensations. I really wish I had 2 mics for this so I can do some binaural stuff. One day I'll get 2 mics again, but they'll be different microphones. And they'll be nice and chill microphones. Not that this one isn't chill, this one is very lovely. Very nice and calm. Very nice and lovely. Very nice and calm and relaxed. Very nice and calm. We love nice and calm. Life will be nice and calm when nice and calm comes and find you. And I hope nice and calm will always come and find you. Nice and relaxed. Every single little thing is on a part of a rhythmic experience. Every time I say words, they will be on the rhythm of what I do. We know that it is wonderful to be part of every single thing. I wonder if ASMR to a rhythm could be nice. I feel like it definitely would. I sometimes have hard time staying on a slow rhythm when I do certain ASMR videos. And maybe if I had a metronome that kept me on a calm pace, I wouldn't speed up. Nice and slow rhythm. I could try to use different rhythms when it comes to recording, when it comes to recording. I keep speeding up unconsciously. I might find this to be too slow of a rhythm. I feel like when something is speaking too slow, it is not as relaxing because your brain wants it to go faster. What is a good in between? I think I like this sort of rhythm, but maybe I don't know what I would like as a rhythm until I try it and then listen to it. But I think I'm on to something. ASMR to a rhythm could be quite nice, I think. It is at least fun to do, to be on a rhythm. It's nice and meditative, at least for me, and I would think that if I get relaxed by doing it, it could be good to be on a rhythm. I find it nice to be on a rhythm. It calms me plenty. And if you're not stimulated enough by just listening to my rhythm, you can tap along on your chest or on your legs or on the bed next to you. You can tap along and feel the rhythm come to you every time that I do. Every time it sounds, every time there's a sound, there's a rhythm going on, and I wonder if it feels nice to be on a rhythm. I wonder if it feels nice to be on a rhythm. On a rhythm. I keep speeding up, so I wonder if I should be that speed, the fast speed that I go, or should I be the speed that I go when it is slow? I don't know, but I'll try my best to be my best. I'll try to do what I want to do. I try to see what I want to see, 'cause it can be something I want to do every day of the week. Is something new. I want to try to be someone new. I feel like life is finally coming together for me. The rhythm that I choose is always, it's hard to stay on rhythm. It is hard to stay on the same rhythm. I find it quite hard. Oh my god, I'm glad no one's here. Oh my goodness. That was loud. Metronome online free. Here we go. a rhythm. It feels fast when I'm listening to it. This is, I do every other. I speak on every other. I speak on every other beat of the rhythm. I wonder, even when I got a metronome, I am not on beat. Somehow I keep speeding up anyway, but now I got a rhythm going slightly. Doom, 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 doom. Oh, memory. Welcome to my experimental YouTube stream. I'm trying to speak on a rhythm to see if it's nice and relaxing. Maybe it is just annoying. I don't know. It is nice to tap to a rhythm, though, or pat, 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 pat. Nice to go to a rhythm. Do you like rhythms? Lost memory? You're a little late. That's okay. You're a little late, but we're okay. It's soon to be the end of the stream. But that's okay. There is another day tomorrow. I find that it is quite cozy to be on a beat. I like it when it sounds like there is a rhythm to the words that I say. Do 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 do. Everything will come when you ask the universe to give it, or else you'll give it your all, or else. How have you been today, lost memory? I hope that you're doing well. Everything will be fine tonight when you go to bed. I hope that you will sleep very nicely. I hope that you'll find a nice calm rhythm in your soul. I've been very sleepy this whole time. Yo, bro, this t-shirt reminds me of armor that doesn't look like much, but it has the best characteristics. Thank you. It sure is just a thing. It has quite the hole in it. It's a little torn, but I think it is nice and cozy, 'cause I don't like throwing away my stuff. Do you like my rhythmic talking? Or is this rhythm too much? Should I just talk normally? I'm at 92 BPM right now. Let's do even slower. This is maybe too slow to talk at 69 BPM. I do think it is relaxing though. Very nice and slow. Very nice and slow. Oh, oh. All the world should just slow down to this speed sometimes. Wouldn't it be nice to have something slow like ice? Something slow and nice. Relax, relax, relax. Relax, relax, relax. We know it's time to go and relax. Relax. We know it to be true. Nice and slow. Don't worry, I'll look the same at home. I go home in thighs that look those worn by a homeless man. Wonderful. We are both little homeless people. We both have armor that is deceiving to the onlooker. We find that it is very comforting to just be us and be free. Yeah, that does happen. That does happen. My socks and my underwear, I hold on to them for a bit too long. But you know, no one can see your underwear, so it's all good. And by the time someone does see your underwear, you're already that intimate with them that you don't care. Surely. Dun, dun, dun. I find that the world is nice and calm at night, and that is why it's nice to stay up all night. And feel the calmness of the stars. Feel them coming down to greet you and make you feel comfy. I find that it's comfy to be underneath the stars at night. I feel the world is much, much comfortable when the night brings silence and coziness and the chill in the summer is very much appreciated. I really find that it is nice to feel the nice coziness of the dark. Cozy darkness and cozy sheets with the blanket in the night. It is very, very much comfortable to sit and relax. Every night we should relax. We all deserve the sleep that will come to us when we ask. We all deserve the sleep that will come to us when we ask. The sleep spirits that are all around waiting for you. Sleep will come when the spirits of the night are here to keep you warm and nice. when the when the when the spirits of the night will come and keep you warm and nice, like a trinket. They will give you a sleep, like a trinket. You can enchant your will into an object and ask the spirits for their support, and make a little trinket as a gift to them at night. Wouldn't that be nice? I think it would be nice to have a little sort of artifact or trinket imbued with the power of sleep, and you can put it next to your bed every night, and that trinket will help you sleep. I find it quite relaxing to know that there is something helping me to sleep. Maybe I should get a little trinket for myself. I love little trinkets that have a deeper meaning. I find that it is quite nice to have something you imbue with your spiritual powers. You don't even have to believe in the spirituals. I don't quite believe in much spirituality, but it's nice to pretend. It's nice. It is nice to have some magical little rituals. It is nice to feel nice and calm when you do them. I find that relaxing is a ritual of itself. You have to find the magic within you that will help you find your way to napping. Find your way to nap time. sleep. Find your inner spirit that will bring you to your dreams. Dun, 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 dun. Nice and relaxing. Nice and calm. Every night you shall be blessed by the spirits that will bring you back to sleep. Back to sleep. Nice and cozy sleep. Nice and comfortable. Nice and chill. What a lovely day it has been for me. I find that it is nice to be relaxed. I think I'm getting sleepier and sleepier, and I find that maybe it's time for me to head to sleep as well. I think it's time for me to head to sleep. So I will do that. I will do that. And good night to anyone that is watching. I hope you have a nice sleep. Good night, good night. Let's do the fade.